Alright everybody, welcome to episode 276 of Psykos, Platters. But really this is going to be something kind of different. This here is actually a congratulation video. That's right. So, of course, always powered by coffee each and every time. You know, so, Emma from 8 Vinyl Low. You know, I'll tell you. 500 subs. Congratulations, Emma. And as of when I started preparing for this, around 8 p.m. on the 22nd of November here, you're at 582. I bet you before Thanksgiving you're going to hit 600 subs. So congratulations on hitting that milestone. So you had and currently having a contest for 500 subs. Basically, playing in the band is what you called it. Pick out for an album with great singing, a great guitar album, great bass album, great drum album, and throw in either a keyboard or trumpets or something like that for a 5th album. Okay? I dug around here for a little bit, and I'm just like, I could have went with some standard middle of the road stuff, but I'm like, nah, you know, my tastes are all over the place, but I stuck to classic rock vein. So right off the bat, Emma, and everybody watching this, Whitesnake Slide It In from 1984. That's right. I've always liked David Coverdale. Okay, ever since he got his start. This is the front. This is the back. I've always liked David Coverdale since he joined Deep Purple to replace Ian Gillan for the 1973 Burn album. Of course, you know, going from Burn, Stormbringer, Come Taste the Band, then it goes into his solo career, and then forms Whitesnake. Now, I happen to like this. This was my first album that I got into, but it also, I was just so impressed by his vocals at that time. Now, he of course was on the edge of commercial with this. I know that. To tell you the honest truth, I would like to find a UK press of that album. The instrumentation's a little different, and the vocals are a little different on some of the songs too. But like I said, with Slide It In, Love Ain't No Stranger, Slow and Easy, God, I love Slow and Easy. I love that song. Gambler, Standing in the Shadow, just awesome. So yes, David Coverdale for singer. I did have like other ones, honorable mentions, right? Can I mention honorable mentions? I don't care. It's my video. I'm going to mention honorable mentions. This is just various singers, though. I always liked Freddie Mercury, okay, but, you know, spotty at times in the 80s for his albums. I liked Paul Stanley from Kiss. I like some of his stuff. Just little examples like that, okay? Alright. Great guitar album. Once again, even though I heard this band before I got this album to me was great guitars. And yes, it's arena rock, and I don't really care. Journey's Escape. Neil Schon is a really damn good guitar player. I mean, let's face it, he started out with Santana. He cut his teeth there when he was a teenager, and then ended up working his way through Journey. And I'll tell you this, if you have not really exactly listened to Journey, go dig up the pre-Steve Perry stuff, the first 3 to 4 albums, okay? There's a lot of tasty licks and Some of it, of course, borders on jazz fusion, but it's really, really cool. But this album here, I pretty much like every damn track. Of course, Don't Stop Believing. My favorite on here, though, is Stone in Love, which some of the radio stations will play that, but when it comes on, I crank that sucker up. Keep on Running, Still They Ride, Lay It Down, Mother, Father, Open Arms. I just like his guitar work on this album. This one, to me, seems to be the epic up there, because Frontiers, for some reason, lost a little bit. When you get to Raised on Radio, it seems to be a little more lush. See what I'm saying? So Neil Schon for the guitar. So we got David Coverdale and Neil Schon in this band. Other honorable mentions, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. Oh my God, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. But that's because I'm from Illinois, and I love Trick. I've always loved Trick. But, you know, and Jimmy Page, maybe, from Zeppelin, which we're getting to Zeppelin in a second here. So, great bass record. Okay? Great bass record. One of the best bassists of all time in rock and roll. I really honestly think that. Okay? Some people, if I were to have a little discussion in my group, honorable mention here, Paul McCartney. Okay? Paul McCartney on Abbey Road. Excellent bass lines throughout that record. But, like I said, I almost went that way, but I didn't. I went left of center slightly. Okay? Because there is another bass player that, for some reason, is always, you know, made me jibe, you know, in here when I listen to his stuff with this band. And I'm talking about John Entwistle from The Who. And I know you're probably sitting here, pardon the glare, you're like, bass dances? You know, a lot of people either love this album or hate this album. I don't understand. I really, really don't. But it's opinions, right? You Better You Bet, Don't Let Go of the Coat. Okay, those are your two big singles. Another Tricky Day. You. Just Quiet One. There's a lot of good damn stuff off this thing. Of course, a couple people joke around that, well, yeah, it's Pete Townshend's last Cocaine album. So what? You know, I've always liked The Who, but this was the first album that I remember buying. I might have bought Who Are You? I can't remember. But this is the one I remember listening from beginning to end, and the bass work from Thunder Ox himself, Thunderfingers, Mr. Ox, Mr. Entwistle. Yeah, okay. So John Entwistle for the bass. For drums, I know. I'm sitting here and I'm like, I was torn. Believe it or not, I was torn. But I'll tell you this, I went with somebody that always just damn impressed me. Okay. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. This album here, Physical Graffiti from 75. Okay. It was a very toss-up. It was between this and Zepp 4. Because all the tracks on Zepp 4 I love. The drumming work on all of it, you know, kicked ass. But then I started thinking, and maybe some of you people out there will go, well, you're nuts, Psycho. And I am. I'm certifiable. But even though I love Stairway to Heaven for the big hit of Zepp 4, okay? Kashmir has always impressed me. And it was a lumbering beat, I know that, but Bonham was the timekeeper. He was the one that was just in there. He was slightly ahead. Everybody figured it out. That's why Zepp broke up, because they figured when Bonham died, it wasn't going to be the same, and they were probably correct. Okay. So for this one here, I mean, just Kashmir, Trampled Underfoot, Boogie with Stu, Down by the Seaside. I'm tired, guys. But for John Bonham, Physical Graffiti. That's the drummer and playing in the band. Now, my alternate or extra member. I think this man doesn't get enough cred. He doesn't get enough cred on keyboards. Okay? Realistically, he had 2 jobs. He had 2 jobs in this band. He was keyboard player. There was no bassist. But he put the bass through the keyboard. You see what I'm saying on this? And I'm talking about Mr. Ray Manzarek from The Doors. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I always liked his keyboard work from the first album all the way to L.A. Woman at the end here. To me, just very impressive. Very impressive indeed. So that's my band. Okay, so David Coverdale, Neil Schon, John Entwistle, John Bonham, and Ray Manzarek. I actually don't think that's a bad band, to tell you the honest truth. What if, right? What if scenario. Alright, well anyways, I enjoyed making this video, and you know what, like I said, Emma from 8 Vinyl Low, congratulations again for the 500 sub milestone. And you know what? Thank you very much for doing this contest. You take care. God bless. Rock on, everybody. All right? Talk to you soon.